Good morning and welcome to Morning Gospel Fuel with Mr. G. Time to get that fuel going on this Friday, November 19th, the 33rd Friday of Ordinary Time. And it is the feast day of Saint Raphael Kalinowski. And he was a Polish Discalced Carmelite friar, as well as a teacher, engineer, prisoner of war, royal tutor, and priest who founded many Carmelite monasteries around Poland after their suppression by the Russians. And a fun fact about him is that although he died in 1907 of tuberculosis, he died in the exact same town that Pope St. John Paul II was born in just 14 years later. And Raphael Kalinowski was considered to be JP2's boyhood hero, who ended up canonizing St. Raphael Kalinowski as a saint. So there we go. And he is the patron saint of soldiers and officers of Poland. Today's gospel is from Luke chapter 19, verses 45 through 48. Let's begin in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. Then Jesus entered the temple area and proceeded to drive out those who were selling things, saying to them, "It is written, 'My house shall be a house of prayer,' but you have made it a den of thieves." And every day he was teaching in the temple area. The chief priests, the scribes, and the leaders of the people, meanwhile, were seeking to put him to death, but they could find no way to accomplish their purpose because all the people were hanging on his words. All right, so we got to keep in mind that this cleansing of the temple took place immediately after entering the holy city. So Jesus displays his authority as he enters the temple and lays claim to it after cleansing it, that it might be a proper place for his teaching ministry in Jerusalem. So that's the importance of the structure of a house of prayer, temple in modern day in the church and stuff like that. So let's see what the word among us provides for us, because Jesus doesn't get angry very often, but he does not like what he sees whenever he's in Jerusalem, so he reacts the way that he does. So a house of prayer, a den of thieves. You've probably seen or heard about ticket scalpers. These are the people who stake out a spot near a sports stadium before a big game and hawk overpriced tickets to latecomers. It's an age-old way to make a buck. People with easy access to something charge a high price to those without such access. During Jesus' time, the temple in Jerusalem had its own version of this kind of upselling. During high holy days, when Jews came to buy sacrificial animals to offer inside the sanctuary, money exchangers located just outside charged exorbitant rates to switch secular currency for Jewish or Tyrian money. These scalpers' profits often went to the priest, which only created more cycles of corruption. It's no wonder that Jesus showed his Father's displeasure. The temple was supposed to be a place of sanctification, a portal to heaven, and a space of communion between God and his people. Instead, it had become a den of thieves. But making dishonest profits off of well-meaning pilgrims wasn't their only offense. On a more fundamental level, these money changers and the priests who conspired with them were hindering people from free and unobstructed access to God's holy place. Jesus had come to earth and was preparing to suffer and die for the very purpose of destroying every obstacle that prevented people from entering God's presence. Yet here were his Father's own representatives establishing even more obstacles. In that sense, Jesus' cleansing of the temple was prophetic. It foreshadowed what he would soon accomplish on the cross, giving every one of us free access to his Father's healing love and mercy. Now it no longer matters who you are or how much you can give him. All he wants is for you to approach him so that he can greet you with a loving embrace. So don't let anything stand in the way between you and God. He has become the new temple, and the only sacrifice he is looking for is a contrite and humble heart. Nothing else is required. Lord, thank you for always welcoming me into your presence. Have a great Friday. God bless. Keep it real. In the name of the Father, Son, and Spirit. Amen.